Good afternoon and welcome to picNmix, the show that's never afraid to challenge the weird and the wonderful. Today we're going to be investigating animals. We've got animal expert Simon Airey in the studio, who's going to be showing us a variety of exotic animals and teaching us a little bit about them all. Then, to conclude the show, we've got the man of many faces singing us his new single, #2. But first, did you know that there are 140,000 red squirrels in the UK compared to 2.5 million greys? Well, people like Rachel here work for the National Wildlife Trust in the North West and are trying to increase their population. Hi Rachel, thanks for joining us today. Why have red squirrels' numbers decreased in the past?
Historically, deforestation and habitat loss were a real problem.
Yeah.
Now their populations have become more isolated and fragmented. But the real reason for their decline recently is the introduction of the grey squirrel.
Oh, right, yeah.
So grey squirrels were brought over from North America at the end of the 19th century, and the threat they pose to our native reds is twofold. They outcompete them for food and resources, but the biggest thing really is they carry a virus called squirrel pox.
Okay.
Now that's a disease that the grey squirrels don't suffer any symptoms from, but it is fatal to red squirrels. When the red squirrels contract the disease, they start to develop lesions around their eyes and their mouth and on their paws, and they usually die within about 2 weeks.
Oh, really? Where in the country are you most likely to find red squirrels?
Red squirrels once would have been widespread throughout the entire country, but now they're mostly confined to the north of England. So we have our population here in North Merseyside and West Lancashire, but you can also see them across Cumbria, Northumberland and North Yorkshire, and then we've got island populations at Anglesey, Isle of Wight and Brownsea.
Yeah. And what habitats are ideal for the squirrels?
The best habitat is mixed woodland. Obviously, red squirrels are an arboreal species, so they like to be up in the canopy. But a mixed woodland that provides a variety of food for them throughout the year is best. Hazelnuts are their absolute favourite, so that's where you'll find them.
I can imagine. And how has the Red Squirrel Project helped to increase their population?
Well, I work for Lancashire Wildlife Trust, and with the help of our volunteers, we've been running a red squirrel conservation project now for about 20 years. And that involves monitoring the population, encouraging people to report their sightings and look out for sick squirrels. But the main thing we do is control grey squirrels and try and prevent that interaction between red and greys and another outbreak of squirrel pox.
I mean, you've mentioned squirrel pox a few times. Do you think there could be another outbreak of the...
Definitely. All the time there's interaction between red and grey squirrels, we risk another outbreak of pox. Back in 2008 we lost 80% of our red squirrels here in Merseyside to an outbreak of squirrel pox. They've recovered really well, but all the time there's greys present in the area as well, we are at risk.
Yeah. And for our audience at home, how can they get involved and help the red squirrels?
By going out and looking for squirrels, definitely. Listen out for them scrambling up the tree trunks, so you'll hear them before you see them. Look out for pine cones falling from the canopy as they're eating, and tell us what you're seeing. Red squirrels, grey squirrels, we need to know where they are. But people can also come and volunteer with us, join our monitoring programme and do one of our designated monitoring points.
Oh, well, thanks for joining us today, Rachel.
No problem.
And if you'd like to get involved in the Red Squirrel Project, then contact details at the bottom of the screen now. Now, we've got Simon in the studio, who's going to be showing us a variety of exotic animals today. Hi, Simon. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Dan.
So, what have we got here first?
This is Chimmy, and Chimmy is an Andean chinchilla.
Oh, wow. It looks like it's got very soft fur.
These guys originate from 14 to 16,000 feet in the Andes Mountains.
Yeah.
Very, very tough environment. So these guys have evolved to have the most amazing dense fur coat, which is
amazing.
Yeah, it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
It's, most mammals have 1 hair per hair follicle. These guys have got 80.
Yeah.
Which sadly in the past led to partially their downfall because they were used in the fur trade. But actually loss of habitat now is the main threat to them because of increased agriculture in the Andes Mountains.
Yeah. Now I know chinchillas aren't from the UK, but quite a lot of people have them as pets. Do you think that's fair?
Yeah, they're actually very easy animals to keep. They're very simple, but like anything else, they're a huge commitment. You need to do your research. They do live a long time. They live into the late teens, early 20s.
Yeah.
So, you know, you have them for good chunk of your life. These guys are really good pets because they love people. They bond with people, they interact, they make very rewarding animals to keep. They love people. Conversely, they also love other chinchillas, so if they're not going to be handled very much, you can keep 2 together.
Oh, so they're definitely human friendly then?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Okay, well, let's see the next animal you've got. And while Simon's getting the next animal for us, if you've got any questions for him about the animals that we've got today or anything at all, then send them in on our Twitter, which is @picNmix, and we'll be asking him at the end of the show. So next, I believe we've got is a pygmy hedgehog, is that right?
Another very cute one, yeah. This is an African pygmy hedgehog,
yeah,
all the way from the deserts of North Africa. Not to be confused with the European hedgehog, which is what we have in this country.
Yeah.
And as Rachel was saying about the red squirrels, again, the European hedgehogs, very heavily endangered because of loss of habitat, because of an imbalance of nature, because of garden fences, because of removal of hedgerows. You know, there's lots and lots of reasons, but 50 years ago we had about 36 million hedgehogs in Britain. We've now got somewhere around 1 million. They've probably got about 15 years left.
So is there anything we can do to help stop that?
It's very difficult if you find them out during the winter months, because they are confused by global warming, which is happening. They need shelter, they need food. Don't give them bread and milk, give them special hedgehog food, or at least give them cat food, dry cat food. Just watch out for them, watch they don't go into garden ponds, give them something to climb out onto, and just look out for them and just bear in mind that they're around and they're part of our natural ecosystem.
Yeah, and this one's not endangered, is he?
These guys aren't, because there's very little pressure comparatively on the deserts of the world, although that will change because of climate change, and also desalination plants will irrigate deserts, and in the future they will be put under pressure, as all other species will.
Is his coat, it looks quite spiky, can I
if you stroke it downwards, it feels like hairbrush.
Oh, it's not that bad actually.
And interestingly, this is actually exactly the same material that the chinchilla's covered in.
Oh wow.
So it's keratin, it's fingernails, it's hair, beaks on birds, scales on snakes, you know, it's all the same material.
Oh, okay.
But obviously it's evolved into spikes as a form of defence.
Okay. Well, let's move on to the next animal. And if you see any hedgehogs in your garden or anywhere that you are, take a picture and send it in to us on Twitter again, @picNmix, just to remind you, and we'll be looking at them next week. So our next animal, I believe, is a tortoise.
Indeed, yeah. This is Michelle.
Yeah.
Michelle is a Mediterranean tortoise from the mountains of Greece and Turkey.
Yeah.
And again, interestingly, same material. Parallels between all living things. This is covered in fur, it's covered in hair, it's keratin, it's exactly the same. Yeah. But provides a very good...
Shell's very strong, isn't it?
Very strong protective cover.
Yeah.
Same as a crash helmet. You know, good ideas are repeated in nature.
And did tortoises live for a long time?
An awfully long time, yeah. This is a major commitment. We're talking about 100, 110 years.
So not just for Christmas.
Not just for Christmas. Put it in your will. It's going to outlive you, basically.
Yeah. Wow, it's fascinating, isn't it? It's just the bottom here. I'm not sure if our audience can see it. Can you explain a bit about their structure?
Sure. On the top, you've got the various different scales. Underneath, you've got joints. These are hinges.
Yeah.
So when these are born, these are actually in a shell, which is smaller than a ping pong ball. As babies, these are the size of a 50p piece. And when they hatch, these are actually folded round in a circle, because that's the shape of the shell. And these are the hinges. So the shell's very soft and then very quickly hardens up to form a protective barrier.
Okay, well, let's move on to our last creature, one that I've slightly been dreading today, to say the least. And I'll give you a quick fact. The link between the tortoise that we've just seen and our next animal is that they're both reptiles. And we haven't just got one. In fact, Simon, we've got 3.
We have indeed. We've got Django. Django's a boa constrictor from the Amazon. And these are Brazilian rainbow boas.
Wow.
And these ones are called Iguathu and Ipanema.
They've got amazing skin. Like, I'm looking at this one here, and it looks like on their scales, it's almost like they've got eyes, almost patterns.
Yeah, if you look at the side, these are called ocelli, and they're actually eye spots, and again, something which is repeated throughout nature. Birds, fish, butterflies, caterpillars, big cats. Lots of animals use these eye spots because they're an excellent form of trickery, really. They're a way of confusing the eyesight of other animals.
And quite a lot of people are scared of snakes. Why do you think that is?
They're the second most feared animal in Britain, even though we've got only one venomous snake, which is the adder. One person is killed in Britain by snakes every 10 to 15 years. Oh. So the fear of these animals is totally disproportionate. Yeah. But unfortunately, because they're very ancient animals, these have been around about 98 million years, they're less easy to associate with. They look less like us than a chinchilla does. Yeah. We can look at a chinchilla and think it's a cute little animal because it's very similar to us. These guys are very different, and consequently they've always been used in a negative way. The Jungle Book, you know, scary films, snakes on a plane, mythology, religion used as a symbol of evil. Yeah. So sadly they've had a bad press.
And the boa, that's a massive snake. What is the largest thing it could eat?
At the moment this is eating rats, and then this will grow about 3 metres and be thigh thick, and this will be eating medium-sized rabbits.
Yeah. Oh, well, thanks for joining us today, Simon.
Pleasure.
Now, we've got a very special performance coming up from a new and upcoming artist, so please put your hands together for the man of many faces singing us out with his new single, #2.
Do you want to know where the rabbit hole goes? I mean, who'd want to know? They said there would be stormy days ahead. Great reveler of the unknown. To me, you were the thread of Ariad. Spin to the rhythm, my little loom. I could set those eyes to view, or chain you to another's room. Oh, 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 it's true. By the light of the broken moon, Sappho the brave took the leap for you. Oh, oh, oh. Do you wanna know where the rabbit hole goes? Do you wanna know? So a vague guess is all you got, yeah, more or less. Here the proof lies in the evidence we lost. If I find the key, is there a consequence? Heed to the call, green, green youth, by Hades I'm hewn. Saw my name on another's tomb. I swear by the light of the broken moon, Sappho the brave took the leap for you. Swear by 30 silver pieces paid. Swear by the fall of the saving grace. Swear by the kiss on the Saviour's face. My, I tell you, you came of age. Swear that the rabbit's in the rhyme. To see it, you must be out your mind. You must be out your mind. You must be out your mind. Know where the rabbit hole goes?